Hey everybody, so Life Lesson Friday for December 22nd, 2023. And it's not about perfection. And we get caught up, especially in the holiday time, around when we're trying to give gifts to people or we're trying to have, especially when we're having people over to our house, and, for a family meal or a friends and family meal, or we get caught up with everything has to be perfect, right? The gift has to be the perfect gift for them. The meal has to be prepared perfectly. The house has to be in perfect order, in perfect shape. And oh my gosh, we forgot to clean this part of the house, or and everybody's just sort of wrapped up in the image of being perfect. And one of the things that, like, I'm a sports guy, and so it's like you look at sports and you're like, there's very, very, very few times in the world of sports that people are truly perfect, right? And they actually changed some of the judging criteria, and it comes to like ice skating and gymnastics, to where you can't get a perfect score anymore. It's impossible because you can't do those routines perfectly. No matter what you do, it can't be perfect. And so you might look at it and say, oh well, okay, well in basketball, you can shoot 15 from 15 attempts, make 15 shots, so you're perfect. Okay, in that minuscule little time frame, but nobody's perfect for the whole season, right? Um, and like, I mean, when you take baseball, I mean, goodness, I mean, you're looking at people that are judged on, Hall of Famers are. It's from a hitting standpoint. Hall of Famers are correct 30% of the time. Far from perfect, right? But yet we struggle with that so much in our own lives, about trying to be perfect and trying to shoot for perfection, when all you really need to do is try and be better than you were. Try and provide something. Doesn't have to be perfect. If you're trying to provide a gift, and it's funny because it's one of those things that the older you get, the more you realize it really is that somebody thought to get you something, and it doesn't really matter what the gift is. And so it's like, it, and from a guy's point of view, and I told my wife this, and she's like, because she says you're so hard to buy for, and I'm like, really? You buy me anything that has to do with running, right? Anything. Like, buy me some socks. Buy me some running socks. Buy me some, like, it doesn't matter. Like, that's gonna, like, you're gonna hit the nail on the head. Um, and there's other things that, obviously, that I'm involved in, or like, I like that she could buy me, or the kids could buy me. Um, but we try to find that perfect gift, or that perfect thing that's gonna knock their socks off. That's gonna make them think like, oh my gosh, nobody knows me better than you. That's the thing I've always wanted. All those kinds of things. And it's like, it's the thought that somebody thought enough to get you something. It's the thought that somebody thought enough to have you over to their home. And and that's one of the things that I've never judged anybody for anything in regards to how their home looks when I go over to have a meal over there, or a get together, or if I'm going over to help them, because they're a neighbor and they need something. Like, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Because we all have different standards of our daily life. We all have things going on. And so there's just things that happen in our lives. And we have to realize that, like, there's a certain level where it's like we need to be okay with everybody else not hitting perfection. We need to be okay with ourselves not hitting perfection, and everybody else not hitting perfection, because you can't do it. And so it's all about now going and saying, okay, what's the best that I can offer today? What's the best that I can offer today? And that's what I'm going to do. What's the best that I can offer in this situation? And if I'm not giving my best to that situation or to today, then that's a problem, right? That's a problem. Where's the holdup? Where's the breakdown? How do we need to fix it? But if I'm giving my best and somebody else says my best isn't good enough, I can only do my best, right? And so there's consequences to that. And the consequence may be, maybe they don't want to come over to my house anymore. Well, it's not my fault that they have a problem with that, right? And so if I'm trying to be hospitable and I'm trying to open my doors and I'm trying to offer something and they don't think it's perfect enough, they don't have to come over anymore. So, so stop trying to be perfect, especially in these next, 10 days, where you're going to have people around, you're going to see people around, you're going to be around in different situations and family and friends and coworkers, and stop trying to be perfect. Stop trying to hold them to a perfect standard. And I think you're going to be able to have a happier time if you do that.